Students, still we are in employee experience and resilience. Now, I will discuss fourth lecture of employee experience and resilience, that is building employee resilience. It's not so easy, students. Researcher, I am telling you, it is a matter of research. PG student, think yourself, because you may be the future researcher, but you just think over it, what way you can improve. Improvement of employee resilience. So, building employee experience, I don't have any model. The things I have collected from some research orientation through which one can develop, one can enhance their resilience. Dynamics, resilience, both are different things. Dynamics means understanding different types of interaction, logical or some kind of physical interaction among the different activities of organization. But resilience means what kind of capability, ability you have basically to cope up any kind of adverse situation. It is very important part I am telling you, and people oftenly say that those who are emotionally stable, they are the good resilient people. Those who are emotionally intelligent, they are the highly capable, highly key corporate people of organizations, that is resilient employees. Now, my submission is that you need to improve the power of human resources. You need to create good or important dynamic matrix, HR matrix, for different period of time. So, if you want to create the dynamic HR matrix, then definitely employees has to be converted into resilient. Engagement is not the resilient, remember. Engagement is something like that, you are highly devoted people and you have the organizational identifications, you are very creative and your goal, organizational goal are same. But here is very important things. If you have studied the business environment and you have the complete knowledge what kind of changes in the environment and how organization interact with the changes, and these changes to be very important and very powerful, because this thing has to be studied very seriously. If you are not studying this particular part, you may not be resilient. So, developing employee resilience is one of the great context of any organization, as a researcher, as a practitioner, professionals or students. Now, see what are the things to be covered under this particular agenda. Introduction, importance of employee resilience in the workplace, how to build resilience in building resilience, challenging that affect employee resilience, strategies to develop employee resilience. Why employee resilience is important, how it can be built, challenges of employee resilience, what are the strategies to develop employee resilience. These are all the things to be studied. Some of material, you can see some of research material, which is much important to understand what way you can build good resilient employees. In today's world of change and uncertainty, an organization needs core resilience capabilities to survive. But what is it that creates resilience in an organization? Organizational resilience is not just about minimizing and managing just risk exposure, it is also about creating organizations with the agility to adapt to unexpected challenges and the capacity to seize opportunity out of adversity. Resilience is a dynamic capability that must be proactively fostered and maintained over time. As an organization goes through normal changes, its level of resilience will fluctuate this dynamic nature of resilience was demonstrated by research tracking business recovery from the 2010-11 earthquake in Christchurch, New Zealand, and cumulative crisis impacted organizations' capacity to cope, that is CIBIL 2016. Having good people and getting the best out of them, particularly during the times of great stress, are critical for resilience. CIBIL 2018. The resilience of employees has been recently identified as essential to organizational capability to uncertain and dynamic business environment. Employee resilience has been defined as employee capability facilitated and supported by the organization to utilize resources to continually adapt and flourish at work even when faced with challenging circumstances. Now see why this kind of thing, some kind of literature I want to give basically, that gives the importance of resilience. Organizational resilience is not possible without employee resilience. Organization has to face some kind of challenges. Ultimately, the challenge has to be faced through employees. So, employees is in the pinpoint of any organizational success or organizational dynamism. So, this particular case, we need to understand exactly why it is much relevant, why it is much important. Research says that is it enhances productivity and performance, it reduces workplace stress and burnout, encourages adaptability and change management, it improves employees' engagement and job satisfaction, strengthening workplace relationship and teamwork, boost organizational success and growth, promote mental and emotional well-being. Resilience is one of the core constructs of positive organizational behavior, Luthans 2002, and has been defined as positive adaptation in the face of adversity. Research on resilience in the workplace builds on the ideas of positive psychology, which focus on positive human strength. Seligman and some other people, Luthans 2002. In the workplace context, resilience has been studied in different industries and professions such as general business organizations, Sheen, Taylor and Shio 2012, healthcare and military. A resilient workforce is essential for organizational success as it helps employees handle pressure, stay productive and maintain positive mindset despite adversity. Here why resilience is crucial in the organizations. Now see, this is some of the things already you have seen in the slide screen. Now one very important part, resilience is the demand of nowadays organization. It is much important in the sense that creates, that face, that identify, that modify, that understand properly different phenomena which ultimately strengthen the capability of organization. So, advantage, importance are there basically. Now see what way you can make your employee resilience. It's very, research are there basically, employees has to be resilient, organization has to be resilient. That because of environment characteristics is now tuna, as I told, it is not the buka or bunny, something like that. It is the tuna. Means it's very complex, it's very ambiguous, but novelty is there. Some of research you have seen what it says, that means organization has to think about it. Now how to build resilience in employees? What way you can create the resilience among the employees? Training is not very important, but what is very important, role. Decentralization may be the one of the good practice. Independence of decision making practice in decision making practice may be one of the role. If collective role is there, then definitely, but in collective role also fix the responsibility. In collective role often it has been observed that few people are working, few people are taking all kind of responsibility, but rest of people are useless. So, this is not the proper practice. What way we can build the resilience among employees? Promote supportive culture, provide resource for mental and emotional well-being, develop skills through training, encourage adaptability and growth mindset, offer constructive feedback, empower employees with autonomy, build physical resilience, lead by example, 8, 9 number monitor and adjust, and 10th number is the celebrate resilience. Now see, this point to be discussed one by one. Promote a supportive work culture. What is it basically? Encourage open communication, foster team collaboration, and encourage and celebrate efforts. That is very important part. Provide resources for mental and emotional well-being, that is offer mental health support, promote work-life balance, teach stress management, develop skills through training, resilience training, problem solving skill, emotional intelligence training. So, these are all the things basically are there which is much needed. Skill is very important for mental, and the emotional well-being is equally important. Teach stress management is very, promote work-life balance, mental health support, more important part adaptability, normalize failure, encourage continuous learning, normalize and encourage continuous learning, and offer constructive feedback, break down challenges, be specific and objectives, balance positive and negative, empower employees with autonomy, build physical resilience, promote healthy habits and ergonomic workspace, offer flexibility. These are all the things basically, what way you can build, what way you can enhance employees, what I said that the employees resilience. One of the main important part here, see, empower employees with autonomy. That cases so many research are there basically. It has been observed that when employees are giving more autonomy, they will be more empowered and they will be more resilient. And these kind of things to be experienced several times. Now see, lead by example, demonstrate resilience, show vulnerability, be accessible, monitor and adjust, regular check-ins, gather feedback, adapt strategies. And 10th number, celebrate resilience, highlight success stories, reward perseverance, and create a resilience culture. These are all the sum of things basically through which resilience can be developed within an employees. Now see, challenges that affect employee resilience. I think so many things are there basically which affect the resilience. Workplace stress and pressure. Workplace stress and pressure is very important things. One, people has to be resilient, that means he has to work hard, he need to have some extra effort. So that case as stress, pressure is much important. It is happening, uncertain work environment, it's very complicated. HR is more dominant nowadays, more dynamic. I think it's such dynamic, area basically, whereas it is well connected with environment, because organization has to respond as per the need of environment. So that means organizational capability is very important things. Then manpower helps to the organization to maintain liaising with environment with the organizations. Lack of work-life balance, poor leadership and management, limited career growth and development, workplace conflict and toxic culture, low employee engagement and recognition, lack of psychological safety, external personal factor, digital overload and technological stress. These are all the very important parts, students. What exactly challenge? Challenge is something like that. I give one example here, that is so called work-life balance. Lack of work-life balance. It's very important context. When we are fostering the people to be resilient, that cases we are in trouble basically, balancing at workplace and your family. Its proper balance is not possible in fact. So many research are there basically, but being my experience as a researcher this particular area, I have seen it may not be balanced. It's highly typical job, that because of it is not under your hands basically what we can balance both the things. Institutional support is equally important, but Indian context, Indian point of view, Indian organization is concerned that work-life balance is not the prime agenda of any organization. It is one of the least agenda. People may not consider still that work-life balance must be the sound practices. Now see, lack of psychological safety, external personal factors, digital overload and technological stress, of course this is very important things, adaptability, learning and development. Your organizations are not learning and development. You are not having that type of culture to train or retain or improve the manpower. Now see, strategies to develop employee resilience. This is very important, what kind of strategy we need, Some of research are there basically. It is, you can find this thing, some books basically, I am telling you, it is the research outcome and we have borrowed from the different, research papers. Building resilience among employees is a proactive approach that helps individuals cope with workplace stress, adapt to challenge, sustain productivity. Organizations can implement various strategies to foster resilience, including structured training programs and mindfulness initiatives. Robertson et al. 2015, Drugs 2006, Aikens et al. 2014, Harald et al. 2005, American Psychological Association 2021, Deci and Ryan 2000 and the Osby et al. 2007. They have said that this kind of practice may be useful when we try to develop some people. Resilience training program is much important, resilience training program. It's very important things, that is EI training, cognitive behavioral techniques, CBT, resilience coaching session. I think this very mindfulness programs, much useful. Emotional intelligence training, some of, good institutions, they are having some coach and some mentors and some, people, some agency, those who are train the people emotionally basically, because, understanding the environment, understanding the people, understanding the surrounding is very difficult job being an employee. Without emotional intelligence, it's not possible to, adopt some kind of new techniques of employee resilience. Then encourage growth mindset is very important. Offer learning and development resources, encourage reflection on setbacks and what can be learned, recognize effort, not just results, mindfulness and stress management initiatives, reduce anxiety and burnout, improve success and emotional regulations. This very important part, mindfulness and stress management initiatives, reduce anxiety and burnout, improve focus and emotional regulations. This is some of mindfulness and stress management initiatives which can help to reduce your anxiety, burnout and everything. Fostering supporting leadership is very important, conduct regular one-to-one check-ins and offer emotional support during challenges, involve employees decision making, promoting work-life balance, promote or hybrid work options, encouraging use of part-time off, then limiting after hours communication, it's very important, then building strong social connections, team building exercise, peer mentoring programs, social events and interest groups, encouraging autonomy and problem solving. These are all highly important part, I am telling you, highly important part. If are not clear, then definitely that may lead some kind of problems. You may not adopt any kind of strategies to promote employee resilience, encouraging autonomy, problem solving, building strong social connections. Now see real world example, some of example basically, what way they improve the resilience among employees. Psychological safety and supportive, this is one of number of steps. Google fosters a psychological safe work environment where employees feel comfortable sharing ideas and concern, provide resilience training through mindfulness programs like as Search Inside Yourself, offers employees well-being programs such as mental health resources and stress management process. Impact: employees report higher engagement, adaptability in certain situations, stronger collaboration and innovation due to a supportive work culture. This is in the case of the Google. Then you can see the Microsoft growth mindset and continuous learning initiative. CEO Satya Nadella introduced a growth mindset culture, encouraging employees to embrace challenges and failures as learning opportunities. Provides some kind of things are there basically that you must be clear that particular part, what are the examples of different parts of the world as far as Microsoft is concerned. And that practices like as Satya Nadella, as I discussed, that they have introduced some practices, growth mindset culture, provides learning and development program to enhance adaptability, offers flexible work arrangement to promote work-life balance. Impact: employees feel more empowered at risks and innovative, increase resilience in handling workplace change and industry shift. Employee resilience training and well-being initiatives, there is also one of the important part. What exactly it means? Develop resilience framework to help employees manage stress and uncertainties, offer mental health support, flexible work policies, coaching programs, encourage healthy work-life balance through remote work and wellness initiatives. Impact is very important here. Employees feel more confident in handling challenge and workplace stress, increase productivity and overall happiness at work. So these are all the case. You can see the Unilever, Microsoft and Google, and what way they have Google, what kind of initiative they have taken, and Microsoft, what they are doing basically. There is no specific techniques or specific models are there basically. Every organization they are adopting, try to understand, try to develop some kind of new mechanism through which employees' resilience can be enhanced. Some of questions I have designed for you people basically that will help you basically to manage the things very seriously, understand the things of employee resilience very interestingly, like as how can resilience be built in the workplace, what challenges affect on employees' resilience, what is the role of leadership in building resilience, how can training and development programs help in building resilience. So many things are there basically, 4 to 5 questions we have seen that help basically to understand exactly what way can build the resilience and what are the challenges basically are there. Now see, some of reference are there basically that can help you like as to understand what are the research going on that particular area. And you can see the any kind of established research journals, any kind of good research journal, then you will have the good informations about employee resilience. Like as all our papers basically, some of papers I just quote like as one of the papers, Kant's, Naswal and Melinen 2016, Resilience Employees in Resilient Organizations, Progressing Beyond Adversity. You can see Hartman, Newman and Hoagie M 2020, Resilience in the Workplace, Multi-Level Review and Synthesis. Hartman, I think these are all the Journal of Leadership and Organizational Studies. You can see that entire research is very important for your purpose. So ultimately I can conclude that this particular lecture, I can say that it's not the things basically, what way you can improve the resilience of employees basically. Thing is that what kind of culture in your organizations and what kind of leader member relationship in your organizations and what climate you want to create basically, and what's your organizational objectives and how do you align your HR objectives with organizational objectives. So ultimately this particular factor decide what way, what level of employees resilient are required. So thank you students for listening this particular lecture, since we have covered very important research material to you people that will help you definitely to understand the mechanism through which employee resilience is possible. Thank you very much for listening.